Hello, people. Welcome to Mainevent Boxing Talk, and we're back for the first time in a long time. Welcome back to the show, Tom.
Thank you. Happy New Year, Nathan.
And you as well, mate. Right, so we're doing the boxer reviews of 2025 a couple of weeks too late, but better late than never.
Sure.
Right, the best male boxer of the year, I'm going for Bud Crawford.
I'm going to agree with that for what he's done and how he ended his career with beating Canelo. Of course, we don't know if he's ended his career yet, but he says he has.
He's vacated all the belts, but I think everybody has a price, so we'll see.
It's true. He has nothing left to prove.
I'd like to have seen him go down to middleweight. Obviously, there wouldn't have been any point, but I just would have liked to have seen it.
Well, there was talk about that, but it's not happening.
To think about it, in this four-bout era that's only been around since 2006, proper till the WBO was recognised, that he's like the third free-weight undisputed champion in the modern four-bout era, right?
That's correct.
That takes some doing.
Oh, does it ever?
And, you know,
Definitely.
The way he fought that fight against Canelo was really impressive. He stood his ground, he hung in there, and he fought, you know, completely outboxed Canelo.
He did. It was a pretty remarkable performance. You know, if you remember, we were picking it as like a 50-50, 55-45, because we didn't know how he was going to react to the weight. But boy, did he put on a clinic. And he didn't back down. He got in there a couple of times, and he proved everybody.
It just makes me think how good he would have been 8 or 9 years ago in his prime, if he'd had these fights. In his prime, and he's not even in his prime, he's out of his prime now, I'd say. You know, to be honest, he is. And he's still putting on performances like that.
He didn't take a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
He didn't take a lot of punishment.
But Mayweather, I think he's had a better career than Mayweather if you look at it really, with what he's done, for what he's achieved, hasn't he? Really, if you want to look at it.
You could look at it that way. Floyd fought, what, 28 champions? Something
like
that.
Yeah, but he cherry-picked them a bit more. We know that Crawford didn't cherry-pick anyone. We know that, you know, Mayweather cherry-picked a lot of fighters before they were even in their prime, you know, like Canelo, such and such.
Oh, yeah, but don't forget that Crawford, a lot of guys didn't want to fight him.
But should we put it in perspective? This win is even more impressive than Mayweather's win over Canelo, isn't it? It really is. Because Canelo's a completely different fighter 14 years on.
Correct. You know, different weight class and everything back then.
Different ages by 12 years. Canelo's a much better fighter than when he fought Mayweather, you know. Crawford isn't the same guy that beat Ricky Burns 12 years ago.
You know, it's also as he got older, he kept getting better, Crawford.
He did, but he got, I think the way I look at it, he got better too late. When you know, where was he when all the, you know, do you know what I mean? When Mayweather at his prime, he was just kind of coming into his own, wasn't he? You know, different time.
Yeah. But, you know, he kept moving up and he kept kicking ass. I mean, look what he did to Spence. Nobody expected it to be that easy.
Yeah, I knew he'd win, but to me, he'll never get the recognition he deserves. And it's going to be another good... Yeah.
He'll be a first-round pick for, you know what I mean? For the Hall of Fame.
For me, he's the sort of guy that people appreciate him when he's gone. Or, you know, in another 10 years, you know, when he's like in his 40s. That's when, in another 10, 20 years, people will really appreciate how good he was. But I don't think people are going to do it now. They're not going to give him that credit, you know, when he deserves it.
You know, he was trying to fight Pacquiao back then, too. He wanted to fight Pacquiao.
But the problem with him was he didn't trash talk too much, and he wasn't, you know, he didn't do. If he did a bit more trash talking, I think he would have been an even bigger star than what he is now.
Well, that's what Bob Arum said. You know, he wasn't.
He didn't sell himself enough. For me, he sold himself way short of how good he was. You know, he really did, and he's only got himself to blame for that. You know, but he's still the fighter of the year. You know, and probably of this decade.
I agree. You know, we have always lauded his praises from the very beginning.
What I like about him, he's got the skills of someone like a Shackle Stevenson, but he's got more entertainment than these guys. You know, these modern guys like Shackle Stevenson and what's his name, Devin Haney. You know, God, the entertainment value he brings to a fight more than them. You know, whenever I watch Devin Haney, it makes me want to fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, he did real well in his last fight against Brian Norman.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter, but it's not a fan friendly to watch. You know.
Well, yeah, it isn't high drama show.
If you're a hardcore fan, he's great to watch. But as a casual fan, I find it hard to watch him. You know, I really do.
I understand.
Right, let's move on to our next thing. Let me just quickly find it.
Female fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, the best female fighter. I'm going to give it to Clarissa Shields, based on her achievement. With Kate Taylor a close second, right?
Serrano was in there too, but also, you know, who I think deserves probably the best female fighter right now is a Fundora.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it to her because I'm going to give it to. I'd put her third or fourth on the list. I'll put Kate Taylor second, and then I'm going to give it to Clarissa Shields because she went in there, won the heavyweight, cleaned out the heavyweight division, cleaned out the light heavyweight division. You know, I don't think you can look past her really. I know the opposition she's fought has been substandard.
I agree.
But you kind of got to give it to.
Well,
so we'll go with Serrano then. We'll go with Serrano. We'll go with your pick on this one.
No, I was picking Fundora because.
Right, Fundora.
Fundora, because she had what, 3 consecutive knockouts?
Yes, she did.
Year, 2, and she's become like a complete fighter. And I don't see her being defeated at her weight, and you know, at any time soon.
Yeah,
I don't. I just don't see that happening.
Okay,
but anyway, I could live with Katie Taylor, you know, Amanda Serrano, or Clarissa.
Well, so
Shields
we'll go with Fundora then on this one. She wins at this year's award.
Okay.
Best. So then we got. Yeah, she was best fight. The best male fight of the year. What do you think? We'll go with what you say.
Best male what? What is it?
Best male fight of the year.
Oh, the best male fight of the year?
Yeah.
Gee, you know, Eubank versus Ben 1 was pretty good, right?
Well, I'd go with that then. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah, that fight had everything. Fight.
It had everything. It had drama. It had fireworks. It had eggs, and you know, the second fight was pretty one-sided because Eubank was ill. So I'm not going to take the credit away from Conor. You know, that was a great fight.
He won for sure. Conor Ben won.
Definitely, yeah.
You know,
best female fight of the year.
I would say Katie Taylor and Serrano.
3, yeah.
I mean, that was just, God, they didn't let up on each other.
No.
You know, that was just, wow, how can they?
I'm going to go for KO of the year, but this is only my opinion. Gassiev against Pulev. I'm going to give that as my knockout of the year. Personally.
I'm going to go with Brian Norman when he knocked out that Japanese guy cold with that left hook.
When thinking about it, that was a much better punch. So we'll go with that. That's fine.
Yeah, that was so incredible the way he just flattened that guy.
Upset of the year, I'm going to give to Fabio Wardley because it was an upset.
Well, also Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero was a big upset.
Oh, that was a massive upset. Yeah. Wow. You know,
that was a big
Ryan
one.
Garcia's got a fight against Barrios that's been sanctioned, right?
Right. Well, that's okay. That's the WBC doing their thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Best trainer of the year.
Who would you pick? I have my pick.
God, probably Crawford's trainer. I'll go with Crawford's trainer.
Crawford's good, but I would go with Robert Garcia because look what he's done with Bam Bam.
Oh, and amazing.
He's had a couple of other guys too that have been very successful this year.
Yeah.
In their training. So I like what Robert has been up to. with his guys. He really cares about his fighters, and he puts a lot into them. But Crawford's trainer was good, but you got to go a lot with Crawford himself.
Yeah.
Crawford has 3 trainers. Did you know that?
I don't know why he's got 3 trainers. That's crazy.
No, he kept them on from.
Okay. Prospects of the year, I'm going to give to Moses the Tomb because I can't think of anybody else that comes to mind.
What about that guy Aziz Azam or something from your country? He looks pretty good, and he's got like 12 fights. Azam, I think it's Aziz Azam.
Adam Ali or something. Or Hamza Shiraz. I'm gonna go with Moses the Tomb.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Just because of the.
But is he really a prospect at this point?
Not really, but
he's
he
a
is.
Contender.
No, but he kind of is because he's only been pro a couple of years, so he kind of is prospect still. He's a contender, but with the prospect
Not
tag,
a prostate,
right?
a prospect. Yeah,
the prospect tag. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. But I like him too. I just don't think he's a prospect. He's got 20-something fights, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm talking about somebody who's like, 12-0 and those guys. I mean, a lot of the guys that were 12-0 and 13-0 last year, a couple of them won titles. What's his name?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
That lightweight, the young kid just won a title. He was phenomenal on it.
Promoter of the year, I'm going to give to Eddie Hearn. And no, sorry, who's the Arab guy? I've forgotten his bloody name.
Yeah, the Sheikh.
Yeah, I'm going to give the Sheikh the promoter of the year.
Sheikh Ali, isn't his name? Something like that.
And then the biggest piece of crap of the year, I'm going to give to UFC for creating their shitty boxing organization that they want to do.
I didn't put that down, but I agree with you.
Well, I know you didn't, but turd of the year. Then we've got the Charles Martin Award of the year to give out.
What's that?
That's like the enhancement guys who always lose every fight. So I'll give my Charles Martin thing to Luis Ortiz. Did you see him in his last fight? I saw him in his last fight.
I didn't even know he fought.
Yeah, he's fought twice in the last year. He fought once.
Ortiz?
Luis Ortiz fought about 3 months ago in October, and he fought in July. He fought these 2 guys that looked like they were pulled off the street.
Oh, wow.
And he looked overweight. He didn't look like he'd trained properly. Like he wasn't in his normal sort of shape. He just looks old now. Even
just like Dillian White.
Yeah, you can tell he didn't train for that fight.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Okay, then we got some more stuff. Let me have a quick look. We've already talked about Crawford. What will Canelo do now that he's lost?
That's a good question. I posed that question. I don't know. He doesn't know either, I think. I think it's probably he has 2 more fights left, right? With the Sheik, right. He's got to uphold his contract.
Because all the belts are vacant, right? Jamie Munguia turned down a fight for the vacant IBF title about a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So I'm thinking he'll come back and he'll go straight in there for a belt, and he will probably win 1 or 2 of the belts again.
Right.
To try and win all the belts again. How many times has he been undisputed champion at super middleweight? Twice, hasn't he?
Yes, I believe it's been twice.
So he'll probably try and do that again, but I'm not so sure. At super middleweight, there's a few guys there like Hamza Shiraz, but I don't think Hamza Shiraz would be good enough to beat Canelo. And Benavidez has gone up to light heavyweight. Gone up to light heavyweight.
No, cruiserweight.
He's gone up to
cruiserweight. Wants to fight Zordo Ramirez.
For me, the fact that he's gone up from super middleweight and then he spent a year and a half in the light heavyweights, won the WBC belt, WBA regular, and now he's going to cruiserweight. He'll probably win another belt up there, because the talent's not there. If you take Jai Alpataya out of it, there's nobody really that good at there. And Zerdo's not a great. He's a good fighter, but he's not that good, at cruiserweight, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
he's good. He's world class, but I just don't. Don't forget he started super middleweight. He's a super middleweight fighting in a cruiserweight division. I don't think he's quite big.
He's trying to get the winner of Bivol and what's his name, the Russian guy. He's trying to
Peterbiev.
get that happening. Peterbiev, yes. I always blank on his name for
Peterbiev, I
some
think
reason.
Peterbiev would knock him out, and so would.
It's possible.
I don't think Bivol would, because I think those guys are better than him, aren't they? Considerably better than he is,
Well, Bivol
And
turned it down.
Bivol's already fought. Bivol's already fought him. Already fought Zerda.
Right, and beat him.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think when I look at what's going on with Canelo, I think he'll take an easy fight, or he'll go straight for one of the belts again.
Right.
We know he's not big enough to fight a light heavyweight, right?
Right.
He's already won a belt there, but if anything, easy fights come up, I could see him going up to grab one. But I don't think his career's over. We'll see him for a couple more years.
It's over if he wants it to be.
I don't think I think he'll come back, he'll win another belt, and then he'll walk away,
Yeah, I agree. He's got some paydays he could make, but I think he's going to do it. He's not going to take anybody that's too
Look, he's made a lot of money in his career. He's had an unbelievable career. He's won light middleweight. He's won he's a weight champion, no, 4-weight champion, right?
Right.
I don't think there's a lot left for him to do.
There isn't.
Then we'll talk about, let me have a look. What's next for Norman? Brian Norman, because he lost to Haney, didn't he?
Well, I think he was a bit exposed. His defense was exposed in that fight, and Haney actually dropped him. It was interesting because if you look at his mentality, here's the mentality. Remember when he knocked that Japanese guy out? He was like making all these obscene gestures and everything. That to me was immature. That showed immaturity.
Shall we be honest? He fought for a vacant belt against an undermatched guy, won it. As soon as he fights the first world-class fighter, he loses. That was always going to be the prognosis, Norman's 24 years old, right? He'll come back a better fighter. He's got talent.
We hope so. He's got power.
And he's got talent as well,
But you got to give it to Haney, though.
But Haney's the best, probably the best in that division next to Lopez, right? Probably the best.
Right.
In that division, at welterweight.
Right.
So
you're right.
He lost to the guy he was supposed to lose to. Norman Jr. can beat the other champions. The rest of the champions at welterweight are not that good. Romero and and bloody Barrios, he could pick up another belt.
I agree.
He reminds me of a young Tim Bradley a little bit, with his attitude, the way he is.
He's a better puncher than Tim Bradley.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the skill set. But he can develop that.
But he couldn't trap Haney. Haney was too slick for him. And Haney showed some pop too. He had some pop on him.
And the next thing is, Parker loses to Wardley and tests positive for cocaine.
Yeah, well, that's still, they're going to announce their decision, the British Boxing Board. They're going to announce their decision soon on that. He's made a case that, he never did any cocaine.
It turned up in his system, so he must have done it, or somebody planted it in his food.
Yeah, whatever. We don't know. So let's not pass judgment until we know.
Look, I'm a big fan of Parker. His career's not over. But when I look at Fabio Wardley, do you know who he reminds me of? A little bit. Lamont Brewster, when he became champion, right?
Oh,
he won a vacant belt against Vladimir Klitschko. He made 3 defenses of the title against Andrew Galotta, some Albanian geezer, and he beat somebody else as well. He got a draw with Cali Meehan in his first defense. So I'm looking at him like that. I think Fabio's a good fighter. He's very powerful, but I don't think he's going to keep it for more than 2 or 3 defenses.
Now, tomorrow we have Ajit Kabayal fighting.
Yeah,
which is a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. And this guy I think he's fighting is going to be a pushover.
he's terrible. The guy's record is he's 17-0, but there's nobody on his record. Most 12 of those fighters have losing records. So this is just a stay busy fight. This is a highlight reel fight, right?
Right.
So I don't know. When I look at Adric Cabial, I see a guy who's a legitimate top 5 fighter, right? But nobody wants to fight him, and I don't blame him.
Exactly.
He's too good for his own good.
Yeah, but the thing is, he has to fight somebody. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter who he is. He just needs to stay active, right? If you stay active, it doesn't matter the level you're fighting.
Keep knocking people out. Exactly. Keep knocking people out.
I do believe. I don't think Usyk will ever fight him. I think Usyk will vacate the belt because Adric Cabial's not marketable enough. It's the same as Fabio Wardley. He wasn't marketable enough, for him to fight. But I'd have to say Fabio Wardley is a lot more marketable than Adric Cabial because he's vulnerable, right? His defense is terrible. He's a scrapper. He's more entertaining. Adric Cabial is a more skill-based, break you down fighter. But he has knockout power. His style just isn't fan-friendly to most people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So what you'll see, in a few months, he'll become the champion by default, the same as Wardley did.
Well, I think he deserves. I mean, look, he's done really well, and he deserves.
He's been a pro. He's been a pro for 12 years, 11, 10 years. He's been European champion 3 times. I think I could see him get a run with the belt and make 3 or 4 defenses. Then he'll fight someone good, and then he'll lose. He'll be the first German heavyweight world champion in, I don't know, in a long time.
I can't remember one. Can you?
I think it must have been what's his name? Max Schmeling.
Not Schmeling, no.
Or Alex Schultz. Not Alex Schultz. No, Alex Schultz got stripped of the title, didn't he? In 92.
He did.
So yeah, he'll be the first German world champion. No. Actually, that's not strictly true because Manuel Char is basically German, but he is and he isn't. He's Syria. He's Syria. Sorry. So he'll be technically the first proper German world champion since Max Schmeling in 38 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then what's next on the list? Let me have a look. What else is next?
I don't know. Check it out.
Give me a second to have a look. God. Is Moses Atuma the heir apparent? Oh, dearie me. That was one of the points. What do you seriously think of this Moses Atuma? I'm not 100% sold on him yet.
I think he needs more experience.
He needs some rounds. He needs some rounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Could you imagine if he gets the world title in his next couple of fights, knocks everybody out in 2 rounds, wins the world title? It's the same, but at least Mike Tyson had a few 10-rounders in there, right?
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to do.
He's got Jermaine Franklin, but who's never been knocked out. But how long do you think Jermaine Franklin's going to last? 3 or 4 rounds, if he's lucky?
Really? Exactly.
Yeah. What we need to see is Moses Atuma get troubled in this fight. We need to see him get dropped, come back up and knock the guy out, right? Isn't it better to see it now? Him get knocked on his ass now.
Yeah.
But my worry for him, Tom, is they keep knocking these guys out who are good. As soon as he fights the first real person, he might lose. How many times have we seen it happen in heavyweight history?
So many times.
Happened to Vladimir Klitschko when he lost to Ross Purity. It happened to Frank Bruno. It happened to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But could you imagine if he did get to the world title in the next 2 fights? That would be like winning the world title in his 15, 16 fight at the same time it took Anthony Joshua. I think when you're considered a top contender after only 12 fights, to me, I have an issue with that. If they get him in there to win a world title and he wins it now, It's better to build him up. They got to do it properly. They rushed Daniel Dubois, right? Way too quickly.
Way too quickly.
And I don't want them to mess this up. So if it takes them another 2 or 3 years to get to that level, then I'm happy with that. As long as the end product is he becomes world champion.
Right. I agree.
Put him in there with Gassiev. He's a big puncher. It's for a sort of world title, isn't it? And he's the number one for the WBA. He's the number one for the WBO. Right, we'll move on. Fabio Wardley has talked, can he beat Tyson Fury and guys like that? Or you guys? No, we know he can't.
Well, it depends. It depends on how much it. I don't think he could beat Usyk. He may be able to beat. He may be able to beat Tyson Fury. I think they've sparred.
He could do
together,
but because Fury's been so inactive, he hasn't fought in over a year. That's the difference. So because Fabio has been active, that's the difference. So you can't have Tyson Fury jumping in the ring straight with Fabio Wardley because he needs 1 or 2 fights. Give him 1 or 2 easy fights. Once he's got those 2 wins, got his confidence back, then I'd say he beats Wardley. But, he might get knocked on his ass a few times. I mean, would you say Fabio Wardley is a bigger puncher as what Wilder was in his heyday? I'd have to say he probably is.
I don't think he's as strong of a puncher as Wilder was a one-punch knockout artist. And when he caught you went to sleep. Okay? I mean, he rattled Tyson Fury's brains, 4 times?
Yeah. Wardley is a very slim and slender, is a very athletic heavyweight. He doesn't look like heavyweight, right? He moves like a cruiserweight, Fabio Wardley does.
Yes, he does.
And his body shape, he's got hardly any fat on him. This guy, he's a machine. But my biggest issue with him is he's taking too much punishment in his fights.
Yeah, but he's still young. It hasn't caught up to him yet.
But if you fight the way he fights, your career is never going to last long, is it? The way he fights. Look at Joe Joyce, a whole 10 years older. I think Fabio's very lucky to be in the position he's in. Just by luck, and that win against Parker, that's put him in the world-class category, know.
Yep. And, from here, the fight up, if he's got to go against the Jeet or, any of the guys going up there, Usyk, even Daniel Dubois, I think could knock him out.
I think he'd beat Dubois, yeah.
Well, he needs to get rid of his father, first of all. Daniel Dubois.
I was saying, I think Fabio Wardley beats Daniel Dubois comfortably now. Really comfortably.
Okay.
And I also believe he knocks Joshua out as well.
Well, speaking of Joshua and what happened with Jake Paul, what do you think? Is this going to diminish Jake Paul's drawing ability or what?
No. Because he's shown he's got balls.
What do you see for him? Well, yeah, he's got balls.
I think, he's got big balls. He's got guts. He's not scared of anyone. He'll get in there with anyone. I think people who are knocking him, they're wrong to do it. What is he supposed to do? I know he's with a guy as good as Joshua. I think he miscalculated it, though. I think he went too big.
I agree. He bit off way more than he could chew. Way more. You know what I mean?
I think what Jake Paul does next is just keep fighting the MMA fighters. Don't fight anyone with any super talent and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Who would be next for him, though? That's the question.
Not really sure.
Who do you think would be next for him?
God.
It's a good question, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to fight him?
He could fight a light heavyweight or something like that, another cruiserweight. Have an easy fight against a guy with 20 losses, There's that kickboxer. He could fight a kickboxer.
Who? I think he should fight Steven Seagal.
That would be laughable.
That would be crazy, right?
For me, I think if he just keeps doing what he's doing, fighting the level of guys he's fighting, that's fine. You know, like the guys who were top, just outside the top 100. You know, guys who are past it. Like Jesus.
I don't know. You know, he'll have to figure that out. We'll see what he does. Maybe he'll do something crazy like fight 3 guys in the same night, like Foreman did.
No, that'd be crazy.
Foreman did 5.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Crazy. I know. I think we're pretty much. Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
I think we may have one more thing. Let me see if I've got one more thing.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Because I'm going to have to check the sound system soon. Anyway, what is the? Yeah, I'm waiting.
I'm just getting it out. I'm just having a look now.
You think so much. There's like nothing in there.
So, I think we'll end it there. You know, we'll come back next week, and we'll prepare better for next week. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you everybody.
Hey, let's you hold on a second. Let's wish Taz mother-in-law, you know, to recover.
Speedy recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, let's wish her that. Okay.
Right. Stay on the line,
Nathan. Thank you.
I'll stay on the stream. I'm going to end the stream now.
Sure.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.